Hey guys, welcome back to the Interceptor. We are here with war number 10 of season 45, and today I have my two ascended champions, Stealthy and Hood, and I have a total of 9 fights today, 2 of which are with Hood. So, I decided to edit out all of the time in between fights here because I have some pretty long fights, and I think that with all that stuff included, it would be a pretty long video. So like my boosting, my pre-fight applying, stuff like that, I edited out most of it, but I kept sections of fights together, so if it's in between those fights, it'll be in this video. But basically, I'm on path 5 to path 4. Path 4 is going to get a little bit interesting, but path 5 is very, very straightforward. I am going to mess up once in this Chavez fight. I don't remember where it is, and it's because she won't throw a special. Here, we get our slow up, but she's just going to be an asshole, and she's not going to throw her special. I'm going to get trapped in the corner. I missed my dex there, and I did get hit. But that, I believe, is the only complication in this fight, because from now on, she's going to throw her SP1, but it was just that one mistake at the start. Oh, no, actually, here, I'm just going to decide to kill her. There, I could have done a medium attack, would have killed, but I don't know why I didn't. Anyways, excuse me. We're facing TCN, and these guys are massive whales. They are some of the biggest spenders in the entire game, so we knew we would have to face a lot of rank 3 defenders. For me personally, I'm facing 4 rank 3 defenders, Sasquatch, Gorr, Maestro, and Photon. And then all of my other fights are either rank 5 6 stars or rank 2 7 stars. And for this Darkhawk, I wanted to push him to SP2 before I knocked him down so that my knockdown would activate shield, and then when he threw SP2 that would deactivate shield, and because I have my slow up, I wouldn't miss when he activates whatever form it's called when he throws his L2. We're going to see right here. But unfortunately, he waits until after. He just waits a long time to throw this SP2. Here he finally throws it. Yeah, stealth mode. Stealth mode just has a chance to miss, but I can't miss because I'm stealthy. With the slow up. So oh yeah, I forgot to say, but I have Scorpion as the third, so I can pause my slows and my enervates for the boss fight. But that fight goes down really, really easy. Could have been about 10 seconds faster if he'd just thrown that SP2, because sure, he would have got a little bit of regen, but it wouldn't have really mattered. This is path 4, section 2, and this is a SpiderHam on the first node. And I kind of forgot that one of the nodes as part of path 4 gives the defender a little bit of increased ability accuracy, because actually SpiderHam is going to be able to evade in this fight, and I completely forgot that he would be able to do so going in, because I think it's right after this SP1 that it happens. But he's going to dash back and hold block, and I'm actually going to hit into him, and he is going to evade because my slow does not completely prevent the evade in this fight. And I like, normally when he dashes back and holds block, you're not supposed to hit into it, but my mind was still thinking that I had evade countered in this fight, and for the most part I do, but when he dashes back and holds block, his evade is 100%, which is what I'm not able to prevent, basically. But other than that, it's a really straightforward evade or fight. He can't evade otherwise, but that one mistake and getting comboed after lost me almost 50% of my health, which is kind of crazy, especially since I was able to make some of that up with adrenaline healing. But yeah, we lost a lot there. And I did actually throw on an invuln right here because I thought Hulk would be the harder of the two fights. In hindsight, I should have thrown it on for SpiderHam, but it's completely fine. I mean, I obviously did not anticipate the fight going that way, because I knew there was there was enhanced ability accuracy on that node. It's been so long since it's actually been relevant in a fight against a defender there that I just forgot about it. But we're throwing an invuln boost. I thought this would be a rank 3 Hulk. It's actually only a rank 2, which I'm kind of surprised, because I think Hulk's a pretty common rank 3, especially for an alliance like TCN. But basically, this fight's going to be really, really fast. Hulk's going to let me push him to SP to the first time, and then every other time he's just going to throw SP1 instantly, which is okay, because when Hulk throws SP1, it can only be an issue if you're in like a certain bad scenario, but there, because I was not close to him and I had already dashed back, I was in no danger. But also Hulk's first medium attack is so aggressive that you can dex it and counter with a light attack with a lot of champions. So I do that very often when I have to fight him. But let's go into our next fights. This is actually going to be a rank 3 Sasquatch. This is going to be on node 38, which is the look back at it node, which is where the defender goes, or is it right back at it? It's either look back at it or right back at it. I think it's right back at it, actually. But right there, you'll notice I play this fight slightly different to the way that I normally play against Sasquatch here. And the reason is because I do not want Sasquatch throwing the SP1 while he is debuff immune, because that is actually the only way in this fight that it can go wrong. That's the only way, because it's the only time in the fight, the only chance you ever have of gaining a dex buff while you don't have a slow up. It's the only time it will ever happen if you play this fight correctly and you don't lose your slow. But we were just waiting for him to go into Wrath of Tanrak, and honestly, this fight wasn't really any different from fighting a rank 2 or rank 5 6-star on this node. The only real difference is that it's obviously a little bit higher health pool. I believe there was about 90,000 more health on this Sasquatch than the Sasquatches I'm used to, and the other difference is a little bit of extra block damage because of the block pen with increased attack rating. But here we're just going to combo into a striker, and that's actually going to kill. So that fight only took about 20 seconds longer than it does on average, so I'm still very happy with the results of that fight. And here you see the bug with the profile pictures, and it was actually covering up most of the square I had to click on, so I had to zoom in to see the little tiny bit at the bottom. And then here I'm just going to pause for a moment because I was counting the amount of energy I need to get to the end, and 2 energy is actually going to be enough. So we are going into this Gorr here, and this is actually a rank 3 Gorr on this node. And I need Hood for one fight after, so in my mind I was kind of thinking that I should try to preserve some bullets at least. I'm going to absolutely throw that out the window because this fight goes perfect. But I went overkill on my bullets, and I threw one more SP2 than was necessary, and I'm going to pay the price for it, as you'll see. Also, I put my MD down to MD3, and it's a good thing I did, because even with MD4 right there, I would have been pushed to a special 3. But here you can see the Mystic Power Back boost coming in clutch, helping me cycle my SP2s really fast. And whenever they don't, I can just use my phase for free openings. But here I see the protection's about to come back. Right there, if I had just charged heavy, he would have died, and the protection would not have come back in time. But instead, I'm going to throw another SP2 to get it down, and here my heavy attack is going to kill. But that was so much overkill, like way overkill. I probably did like a good 80,000 damage more than I needed to on that heavy attack. So I definitely could have killed him if I'd just thrown that heavy attack before the protection came back, but whatever. We're on to our next fight here. And this was the scary fight of the war. This is the fight I'm like, if I'm going to die, if I'm going to lose my Deathless season, it's going to be to this fight. This is node 47 Maestro, the Vigilance node, and the node where the defender's special attacks take half as much power. Now, I'm lucky that I was able to get a Mr. Fantastic pre-fight for this node. I did request it, but I was able to receive it. But you'll notice that I entered this fight with 5 bullets. And I am going to be able to get back bullets, but I want to constantly be knocking down with a heavy attack or a special to keep the Mr. Fantastic pre-fights. And the reason I have the Mr. Fantastic pre-fights in this fight specifically is because this has return policy, which means that whenever I nullify a buff, I actually give the defender 40% of bar power, which is quite a significant amount of power. And with Hood, who nullifies a lot, especially when they gain a lot of buffs at once, that can make this fight a little scary. So I asked for the combat power rate pre-fight and the petrified pre-fight just to make this fight a little safer. And we're actually able to manage our bullets really well in this fight, and we're able to gain back a lot, whether it be from nullifying, from making hits miss, or actually those are the only two ways, I guess, because I don't have the Mole Man synergy. But yeah, here I almost lost them, and he actually resisted the first hit of my heavy, but the rest of it landed, so I was able to refresh the debuffs. But at this fight, or at this point in the fight, I know I'm going to get this fight down. I just have to keep slow playing it, get his Cosmic Radiation gone, and now that his Cosmic Radiation is gone, we just have to kill him before he comes back. But I've been taking a lot of extra block damage in this fight to make it a little safer. So I could have definitely finished this fight with like 85-90% health, but I was just being a little safe. Here I'm out of bullets again. I'm going to charge my heavy, get him down to 13%. But luckily for me, he was actually being really nice with his special attacks. He could have been really bad and held them for a long time, but he didn't want to do that to me today. Here I need to knock down one more time. Luckily he charges the heavy out of nowhere and allows me to. Gonna bait this SP2, go in for my own SP2, and he is going to go down. So despite the fact that the fight was a little bit long, it was a relatively safe fight, and I do feel pretty good about the way that it went. This here is on the very next node, node 49 Mysterio, with Stealth Spidey, but this is actually only a rank 2. I was expecting this to be a rank 3 Mysterio, especially for a defender who is so relevant to this the meta right now. But not that it would have made any difference. I mean, I just would have taken a little bit of extra damage. But Mysterio's not going to be so nice at the beginning of the fight right here. He is going to be nice later in the fight, but at the beginning he's gonna just not. He's gonna make me take some brute force damage. But yeah, they're perfect heavy attack that he threw, and then here I'm gonna finish a combo to push. Oh no, actually I like to bait another heavy. Push him to another SB2, trying to bait it out. He did not give me the opportunity, so I decided, okay, you're not going to throw it, then I'm not going to let you throw a special, and I'm just going to combo into a striker. And yeah, I had a full combo there, medium, light, 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 medium, so I could have done another 10% even with like bad crit RNG. So now we are on to the last fight of the war, which is going to be a rank 3 Photon Boss. I'm throwing on my last invulnerability boost here. I do have the Enervate pre-fight on, and you guys have seen me take this fight with against an Ascended rank 5 6-star and against a 7-star rank 2 before. And this fight is similar, but the only real difference is the fact that this guy this girl has 185,000 health more, because normally a rank 2 Photon or rank 5 Ascended have roughly 760,000. This one has 930,000 health, so almost a million. Actually, it's less than 100,000 less health than a Sasquatch boss has, so she is a pretty beefy girl. But we're just going to be using the strategy of dexing medium attacks and countering with our light. And as long as she never gets to a bar of power, there's not really any way this fight can go badly, as long as you know your spacing. You can get parried if you are late on your spacing, and you can also get hit if you're late on your spacing. But here we just throw the SP2 to give us a longer Enervate, so that even if we do mess up this fight, we have some room for error. When it comes to keeping up our debuffs and maintaining the fact that we have to constantly dash back. And also I've noticed that Photon's AI gets insanely defensive whenever she has Pure Light form active, which I find really annoying, especially for a champion like Cat, fighting her with a champion like Stealthy. Here I get pushed to SP3, but at this point it doesn't really matter, because I don't need to throw any other special, because why would I ever need to throw another special here? But we're able to just combo her like this until she goes down. Now I am going to make one mistake in this fight. I am going to accidentally block a hit, and I'm going to lose 3% of my health. I believe that's coming up right here. Yeah, she's being super defensive. There the spacing wasn't right, so I couldn't use a light attack, trying to get her to dash, and then there my dash back was just late. So yeah, it cost me 3% of my health, and it cost me the flawless solo, but you know what, it's still a relatively clean fight. I didn't take any hits or anything. I just blocked one hit. But the last 3 times I've taken this fight, I've finished with a full yellow bar and 0 damage taken. So it's not as clean as the last ones, but also this one had so much more health. So I'm not really gonna, like, I still feel pretty good about how this fight went, but obviously it could have been better. 2 minutes 32 and Photon does go down. That's all for my contribution to the war. I had a total of 9 fights. So all 3 minis on the right side, and then I had node 38 and 42 plus 4 path fights. And unfortunately, we did lose this war. It was never really that close. They cleared very well. They cleared with 5 deaths, and unfortunately, we had 13 deaths. So just not our day. And the unfortunate thing is that this actually means that we can't make Masters anymore. Even if we win our last 2 wars and end 6-6, because we had 1 war in tier 2, we're actually not going to make Masters unless there are probably like 3 or 4 docks in Masters, which is very unlikely to happen. But yeah, as of this war, we are now 4-6 on the season. My death total is still at 0 deaths, and my PSR is now at 84 out of 84 fights, or 100%. And my deathless streak is up to 85 fights. So that is all for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you all in the next one. To be honest, I didn't really like the format of this video, because I do like having it as one fluid video with some time in between fights to reflect on it, and I didn't really have that chance today, so I don't think I'll be doing this style of video again. But let me know what you thought about the style of video in the description, and yeah, I will see you all later. Bye.